Good morning, East Bay. I just thought since I stood in front of the microphone, I should say hello. Go ahead, Simon. A minor. Let's keep that energy going. Let's keep that energy going as we welcome ourselves into the room this morning, knowing that everything that I need to know is available to me. Everything that I need to accept is available to me, and everything I need to release is available to me through the mind of God within me. Everything that I need to know about what lies before me, everything that I need to know about what lies before me is available to me, is available to me through the mind of God within me. Go sing it to somebody. Everything that I need to accept about what lies before me, everything that I need to accept about what lies before me is available to me, is available to me through the mind of God within me. Everything that I need to release about what lies before me, everything that I need to release about what lies before me is available to me, is available to me through the mind of God within me, through the mind of God within me, through the mind of God within me. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Falling in love with Jesus, falling in love with Jesus, falling in love with Jesus, the best thing I've ever done. In these arms I feel protected. In these arms I'm never disconnected. In these arms I feel protected. There's no place I'd rather be. Sing it with me. Falling in love. Falling in love with Jesus. Falling in love with Jesus. Falling in love with Jesus is the best thing I've ever done. It's the best thing, the best thing is the best thing I've ever done. There's no place I'd rather be. There's no place I'd rather be. So as Simon continues to minister through music, because we've already been ministered to by KJ, playing the flute this morning, and by Martin on the drums, and by you walking around and blessing and loving amongst each other, because this is the assignment right here this morning, July 20th, 2025. We chose to come here today and to know that we know that we know that God is all there is, and we are on assignment. As I was walking towards ordination, I would come into this room and sing this song, Falling in Love with Jesus, unapologetically, because I wanted to cultivate that relationship with the one of many names. And so we're here this morning in community, accepting and blessing and raising the vibration of love within, and so within, so without. So with gratitude and thanksgiving for the opportunity to stand here this morning, with gratitude and thanksgiving for what has been, what is, and what will be, and for always being available to those who come to be reminded of our magnificence, our oneness, our needing one another to do this thing, because this is the movie. This is the movie, and it's playing right before our eyes. So I'm giving thanks as I release this word into the law, knowing and allowing and accepting the blessing that is being revealed right here, right now. And if any of this resonates with you, I invite you to anchor this with me by saying, Amen, Ashe, and so it is. There's no place I'd rather be.
Good morning, East Bay. Let's give thanks for Reverend Queen Michelle Jordan, our musical inspiration today. And also many thanks for Martin Trousseau on drums, Simon Russell on piano, and my beloved friend KJ, who gave us the flute. Let's just stand, if you're comfortable doing so we can recite our affirmation. Reverend E found this in a little book by Jack Addington called Your Needs Met. It is actually a prayer for addiction. And we have a 12-step meeting here that is a New Thought 12-step meeting that meets every Friday. Shout out to all the folks who helped create that. And every time I go, there's folks there who are just talking about the beauty of integrating the 12 steps into this philosophy and what it is to have a place where we teach that. But we know Reverend E planted that seed a long time ago, and that this church for a lot of people was known as the Recovery Church. Reverend Amandra and I were talking about that this week. This was the Recovery Church, and it still is. We come here to heal and to figure out what it takes to do that. But these affirmations, these recitations, these things that we say over and over again, we say them so we can get them in the marrow of our bones, so we can know them in the moment of truth. So if we'll pull it up on the screen, and we'll say it in unison together. And Gabrielle? Is Gabrielle here? There he is. Look at God on right on perfect time. Gabriel Ramos, who is one of the leaders of our Spanish ministry. Thank you so much, Gabriel, for that work. Another seed. Thank you, beloved. another seed that Reverend E planted when people were asking questions. I just want you to know that everything Reverend E did wasn't popular when she did it. You might want to remember that. Some of y'all know. When she said we were going to do it in Spanish, we were going to have a Spanish ministry, and we didn't have but a few Spanish folks at the church, it was like, well, what? Why we got to, and we're going to recite it in German when there's just one German people? But she was talking about how to practice radical oneness, which is you do the thing first for the people you are uniting with. You call the Muslim call to prayer so the Muslims know they are welcome. Do you understand what we're doing here? You do the thing first, right? That's how you know you mean what you say when you say these things, is by your actions. So we're going to talk about that today. But let's start with what we know to be true now. I've been invited to slow down by a lot of you. And I'm taking that to heart today. And let's slow down with this. It doesn't have to go so fast, because this is a prayer. So assume the prayer position for whatever that looks like for you. Sometimes I pray with my hands open, and when I'm in a Christian gathering and I throw my hands out, they're like, is she Muslim? What's going on there? But we're building the bridges and a personal relationship with our faith that work for us. So whatever prayer looks like for you, let's do that together. God is the only power in my life. Nothing from without can touch the perfect life of God within me. Let's just pause right here from the beginning. I just want to talk about this perfect life. Where is it? Where is it? It's within me, the perfect life. Where does it live? It does not live in this building or on this podium. It lives within me. And thus, it lives in this building and on this podium because we bring it. One more time. Nothing from without can touch the perfect life of God within me. No past experience has power over me. I am a perfect child of God, and nothing that anyone has ever done or said can interfere with my divine birthright. The power of God is greater than any circumstance in my life. The strength of God is mine to use. Turning away from all feelings of inadequacy. Hold on. Now just check that out. Where do you feel inadequate? We're going to call it up, and then we're going to turn away from it. That's what we do. We don't bypass it. We look at it. Go, oh, this is the place I'm turning away from. Some of us are not conscious, not paying attention to the life opportunities that are calling us to grow. We're stuck in the habit of judging and calling that righteous judgment. There's an opportunity to turn away, because all the judging comes from feelings of inadequacy. Because none of us want to be judged by what we're judging with. That's all. It all comes from there. Discernment is a beautiful thing. Judgment, not so much. We're going to talk about the difference today. So let's start. This is so good we could read each one all over again. So we'll just start this whole slide from the top. The power of God is greater than any circumstance in my life. The strength of God is mine to use. Turning away from all feelings of inadequacy, I discover that all that I need is within me right now. As I forgive the past, I find that I have nothing to atone for and nothing to run away from. Hold on. Some of us is running right now. We ran the church. Like that would be a place we could hide. We're going to run out the door. Why do you have nothing to atone for? Because you're forgiving the past, including your own. And you come to it differently. The apology that you know you need to make. You come to it differently. When you're not running. When you've forgiven yourself, there's space to forgive others. When you forgive others, there's space to forgive yourself. See how that oneness works? There's somebody to forgive right now. You know who it is. You mad that I'm pausing? Just do the doggone thing, prayer, get it over with. Just don't, why are we making it personal? Because that's all we doing here. It's making the spiritual personal. So who needs forgiveness? Who needs forgiveness? I do. I do. All right. As I forgive the past, I find that I have nothing to atone for and nothing to run away from. Casting off the old me, I discover my true self. I take dominion in my life. Old habits have no power over me. Conditions have no power over me. And come on. Personalities have no power over me. So stop lying for the rest of the week. Personalities have no power over me. Personalities have no power. I can tell my friends, because y'all are reciting it silently just with me. You're in the same place where we need to repeat it a couple of times. Yeah, it's called constructive discomfort. Let's do the whole thing. Old habits have no power over me. Conditions have no power over me. Personalities have no power over me. I take dominion. I am whole. I am free. I am complete. Now and forevermore, and so it is. Yes. Woo. Yes, okay, if you're still comfortable, we're going to do it in Spanish. You can remain standing.
Despacito. Dios es el único poder en mi vida. Nada de afuera puede tocar la vida perfecta de Dios adentro de mí. Whatever works. Niño perfecto de Dios.
Hold 1 second. One of the things that I've noticed is that folks, non-Spanish speakers like myself don't realize there's a cadence to a thing that native speakers have. And we say it the way we say it, but I think it would be good if we repeat today and just get some practice. Just slow for us, okay?
Soy un niño perfecto de Dios.
Soy un niño perfecto de Dios.
Y nada que cualquiera
Haya
haya hecho o dicho
hecho o dicho
puede intervenir con mi primogenitura divina. We've changed it. Change is good. El poder de Dios es más fuerte que cualquiera circunstancia en mi vida. La fuerza de Dios es mía para utilizar. Olvidando los sentimientos de insuficiencia. Yo descubro que todo lo que necesito está dentro de mí
está dentro de mí
en este momento.
en este momento.
Cuando perdono el pasado,
Cuando perdono el pasado,
encuentro que no tengo nada
encuentro que no tengo nada
para expiar
para expiar
o escapar,
o escapar,
olvidando mi antigua persona.
olvidando mi antigua persona.
Yo descubro
Yo descubro
mi verdadera persona.
mi verdadera persona.
Yo tomo dominio en mi vida.
Yo tomo dominio en mi vida.
Los hábitos antiguos
Los hábitos antiguos
no tienen poder sobre mí.
no tienen poder sobre mí.
Las condiciones
Las condiciones
no tienen poder sobre mí.
no tienen poder sobre mí.
Las personalidades
Las personalidades
no tienen poder sobre mí.
no tienen poder sobre mí.
Yo tomo dominio.
Yo tomo dominio.
Soy entero.
Soy entera.
Soy libre.
Soy libre.
Soy completo.
Soy completa.
Ahora y para siempre.
Ahora y para siempre.
Es así.
Es así.
Sí.
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 So we'll be having our Latino ministry this Sunday and every third Sunday. If you speak Spanish, if you know someone who speaks Spanish, we want to be part of the community, the doors are open just as the doors were open to us. Thank you.
Beautiful. Spanish service 1 o'clock today. So please invite our family to let them know they are part of what we are about, the business of doing here. Feels good today, East Bay. Thank you for showing up, for being here, for making this so special. Because every single Sunday is different because of who shows up and the energy we bring and the love we bring for each other. So we've been praying in this building since early. And we're excited to have Reverend Queen Michelle Jordan here as our musical inspiration. So please give her all your love as she comes now for the goodness of God.
Last week, or 2 weeks ago, Reverend E called me and she said, you know, I like this song. And I'd had a procedure that had triggered me a little bit, made me a little scared. So I say, I love you, Lord, for your mercy never fails me. All my days I've been held in your hands. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, I will sing of the goodness of God. 'Cause all my life you have been faithful, and all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. I love you. I love your voice. You have led me through the fire. In darkest night, you are close like no other. I've known you as a mother. I've known you as a friend, and I have lived in the goodness of God. And all my life you have been faithful. And all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. With my life laid down, I surrender now. I give God everything. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running, you say it, it's running after me. God's goodness, your goodness is running after, it's running after me. With my life laid down, I surrender now. I give you everything. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. I love you, Lord. All my life you have been. I can't hear you. All my life you've been what? Ha! So, with every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. I will sing of the goodness of God. You say, I will sing of the goodness of God.
God is good all the time. Reverend Queen Michelle Jordan. Martin Trousseau on drums, Simon Russell on piano. And because it was just that perfect kind of day, Reverend E coming up the aisle perfectly on cue, because it would have to be the Eastway way to just get really slain in the spirit by her just appearing right on cue as you were telling the story. Won't you do it? What do we say? Won't it do it? I don't know. What do we? Because we have an interesting thing here, right? With how we have a personal relationship with spirit. And some of us really have an opportunity to look at what that looks like a little differently. Somebody gave us an image of God. But what we know is what Reverend Queen Michelle told us all my life. God has been faithful. It don't really matter to me which name you call it, which description, what pictures you got of it. That I got to talk to you about what it's been for me. My personal relationship, my personal journey with spirit. And I'm grateful to have the opportunity to do that today. I'm Reverend Derica Blackman. I use she and they gender pronouns, and I'm the senior minister here at the East Bay Church of Religious Science. If this is, yes, thank you. If this is your first time with us, you came on a good day. Would you please stand and just allow us to give you just a quick blessing? We're not going to ask you to say nothing, but we want to give you something if you'll stand and allow us to acknowledge you. Oh, beautiful. All right. So a gift is coming, but we want to give you this gift of our presence and our acknowledgement of you. East Bay, if you will stretch your hands out, and please repeat after me. Welcome to East Bay. The God in us recognizes the God in you. You are a mighty presence, and we honor you. Welcome home. Thank you. So the theme for the Centers for Spiritual Living this month is Rolling in the Deep. This is our July theme. And there's been a focus throughout the month on looking at ways to deepen our practice. And there's a particular topic this week, which is honoring your boundaries. And I've been talking about boundaries for a while and saying I was going to come and teach a workshop on that. And I said, but I got to get me some better ones first. So Crystal Fry has been serving as our operations manager, and we are completely grateful for the way she has showed up in that role. Thank you so much, Crystal. I've been saying a little bit about the power of no. You all know that Reverend Deborah is my mentor, and she wrote The Sacred Yes. And I said, I think I might have to write, I told you last week, The Sacred No. And Crystal calls it the Holy No. And we're just all practicing, what does it look like? You know, we have a philosophy where we're like, God always says yes. And sometimes what that looks like is we don't know when to say no. Because we think no is mean. We think no is somehow ungenerous. We think no is fearful. We think but no is loving. And it's also a complete sentence, somebody told me. It doesn't require us to just kind of be like, no, because I can't. And you know that lie that you make up after no? No, I can't because I got to be there right now. And it starts in 5 minutes when it don't start for 5 days. That's because we won't give ourselves permission to say no. So it can be a loving gift to have and to set some boundaries. So I was so grateful that this was our topic today in the Science of Mind. And interestingly enough, they have some Ernest Holmes in there, so I'm going to make sure we get some Ernest Holmes quotes in here about no. Yes, we got that. But guess what the book was that they were most referencing in the content that they sent all the ministers around boundaries? What It Takes to Heal. So it brought us back, for those of you who were like, Reverend Derica, we only got through the first 3 chapters. What we doing? And so we're back to What It Takes to Heal. Hello to our love streamers. We thank you so much. I've been getting such great feedback from all of you all, and we look forward. We're going to be putting together some surveys for you all. So What It Takes to Heal was the reference point for the conversation about boundaries that the Centers for Spiritual Living sent out this week. It's also, there's some references in your Science of Mind magazine. I really want to encourage you all to pick up the Science of Mind magazine and to get a subscription. This book, I grew up with the Daily Word. Some of you might know that. I'm a Unity baby. Youth of Unity was my coming in. But it now comes out where it's 2 months at a time, so you can pick that up in the magazine. And the reason it's 2 months at a time is because there's an opportunity for us where the magazine may go away in print form if we don't get more subscriptions. So that's an opportunity where, you know, that thing where you're like, oh, whatever happened to that magazine? I used to love those little magazines, but you don't subscribe. We want to give you the opportunity to save our magazine. So just do a subscription. You'll get print and digital. So then that way you can have it to access online whenever you want as well. So there's some great articles in there. Reverend Andriette has a regular column. I contribute from time to time, and they have really, really great. And they've really worked hard on the diversity and inclusion aspects. And so we're really grateful for that. And thank you, Reverend E. and Reverend Francione, right, for all that they did as some of the earliest Black ministers in the Bay Area, for sure, in this movement, to just be there when there were some hard things being said. It was hard things being said when I was there, so I can't imagine what it was for them. But when they got to boundaries, one of the definitions they used was from What It Takes to Heal, and it's Prentice Hemphill writes on page 81 of What It Takes to Heal. Boundaries are the distance at which I can love you and me simultaneously. Ooh, now see, that's a reframing. For some of us, we have been thinking about boundaries are fences. They're guardrails. I sometimes see myself out with the Lucy Liu, Kill Bill, samurai sword running down the table like, ha, ha, ha. I told you we're gonna close this gap between the pews and the pulpit. And that's what we think. If we're going to set boundaries, we got to be harsh. I got to set some boundaries with them and let them know they can't just walk over me, can't talk to me kind of way. We think of boundaries as harsh, which is why some of us, especially people-pleasing, codependent types like me, have trouble with them. Because we only know two ways, doormat and steamroller. Right? That's it. Either I'm going to let you run all over me, or I'm going to just fight you. Sometimes to the death. Right? But this idea, and it was in the meditation too, about generative boundaries, is talking about them as an art, not a science. It's talking about relationships. And the chapter that this is pulling from in What It Takes to Heal is called Remapping Relationships. And it is about the idea that what it takes for us to heal as a church. And I might offer we have healing to do it at this church. Yes? Okay, good. I thought just so we all know. If you knew, you're like, no, it seems lovely. Everybody seems happy here. Just keep coming. There's... Because if you left your old church because they was unhealed, welcome to your old church. This is people. When you get 100, 200 people together, you're going to have unhealed wounds. And if you call, Reverend E told me, if you call yourself a healer, who do you think is going to come? And I just cried because I was like, oh, what have I gotten myself into? But it's a beautiful thing to be on this healing journey together. Because as I am being in service, all my stuff is showing up. And it's like, ooh, okay, here's a place for me to grow, and here can we go. Oh, you need healing? Good. I need healing in that same place. And if you ever become a licensed practitioner, you will have the joyfully confounding experience that the people who come to you with prayer are always coming with your stuff. When I was married to someone with an addiction, people came to me married with someone with an addiction, and I was like, oh. I don't feel qualified to give advice. And it's like, well, thank goodness that's not what a practitioner does. Thank goodness it's not the advice-giving business. We're in the business of being a channel, being a conduit, being a vessel for spirit to speak to. We're in the business of putting on the spiritual divine truth goggles. That's our job, is to go, oh, okay, mess is a fact, but it's never the truth. There is a divine order behind everything. So what I love about Prentice Hemphill is they use they, them pronouns, and I want to get you used to that. You know, hopefully we've been grooming, but when Prentice comes, and we know that someday Prentice is coming, I want to get you used to they, them pronouns for folks who use those, okay? So I refer to Prentice as they because that's how they choose to be referred to. So what I love about Prentice is they are really into the practice of somatics. And as a person who grew up with a fair level of abuse, I learned how to not be in my body, right? That's one of the adjustments that we make, is you have to learn how to go read a book and go escape to a foreign place, right? To just get out of the things that are going on around you. But somatics is about being in our body, being present to ourselves as a being in a space that has a physical experience, and the ways in which trauma and joy show up in our body. Paying attention to the clues that the body is giving you. And one of the activities that Prentice does and talks about in the book, I'm listening to the audio book, doing the Kindle, reading the book, all the things, is this exercise of identifying the space between me and you, right? Because that's what we're talking about, the distance in which I can love me and you simultaneously. And what they do is they have a hand. Each person puts a hand on the other person's chest. You get into a pair, you put your hand on the other person's chest, and you pay attention to the moment where you lose focus on yourself. So when you put your hand on their chest, at what point do you start thinking about, oh, is this comfortable for them? Do they like, is my breath? Should I have taken a minute? What did I eat for lunch? Okay, pay attention, pay attention. Okay, they have, this material. Oh, they're looking right in my eyes. Oh, should I look away? Do you understand all the thinking that goes on for us? And that's just an intentional exercise of being present. And so you're doing this exercise of going back and forth between, can I be in my body and fully present to what's all the, I'm looking at all my somatics teachers in the audience like, am I doing okay? Is this good? Am I describing it well? They're like, okay, good. Next time I'm going to have y'all come up and teach this, okay? And so there's this moment where you can be fully in your own self and present to another. But we have not been taught to practice that. We have been taught hierarchy. Either I'm on top or you're on top. Either I'm focused on you or you're focused on me, and that's all it is. And the only time we've ever been taught to be in that same, try to get on the same wavelength and vibration with each other is in romance. And that's the place where we fail at it most. But that's where we've been taught. It's like, well, that's when you're supposed to become one, right? That's what your goal is. You're supposed to just, I'm with you, and we're looking at, okay. But even then, some of us have been taught the way to become one is to give up who we are. That's how you become one, is you make them happy. People pleasers where you at, right? You give up who you are, and then they'll be happy. That's not happiness, right? So it can have a temporary happiness, but it's not true joy. Right? Because I'm a people pleaser, and look at all the gratification. Why do we do it? Because you get a lot of gratification because people are pleased. But how are you when you give it all away? When you're not even in touch with yourself, right? And if you have a good partner in the exercise, you can watch them be present in themselves. And some of us get jealous When we see people who have good boundaries and are really present with themselves and they say no and they're like, you say to them, I never tell you no. Like it's a condemnation, right? They shouldn't tell you no. Because when you don't have good boundaries, you don't like people who have good boundaries. And you're constantly trying to renegotiate their boundaries. They told you no, and you're like, but see, you didn't understand. And the reason why I'm special and different and special and you should do it for me, even though you just said no, is because, sound familiar? Some of y'all are like, would you stop? I got to go home and stop telling on myself with my partner sitting in the front row. Ooh, Jesus. Okay. So this is the opportunity. As we practice healing as a community, is to get in touch with our stuff. Get in touch with ourself. Get in touch with our sacred yes and our sacred no. I'm in another community where we say if it's not a heck yes, it's a no. We don't say heck, but I was trying to do the church version, right? If it's not a strong yes, then it's a no. And what if you had that standard for yourself? It shifts the way we've been taught, especially the gendered aspect of this, where as women we've been taught that our role is to say yes. That is what a good woman does. Is figure out a way to make it happen. And to be honest, men have been taught it too. We have to provide. And so we don't say we can't provide. We've just got to figure it out, tough it up, make it happen. And then we've started to smash those gender identities. And some of us are playing both 2, 3, 5 roles at a time. So what the CSL said is boundaries are the way we take care of ourselves. And a generative boundary protects and enhances life and moves us toward nourishing forms of adaptation. Can you learn to say a wholehearted yes and a wholehearted no? When we think about this in relationship to Ernest Holmes, I want to read this quote from Holmes. This is from Know Yourself, page 88.2. I do not think that we should make such a claim to divinity that we forget we are human. For our humanity proclaims the creativity of the divine. What does that mean? Our humanity proclaims the creativity of the divine. Is that spirit, when I teach and change your thinking, change your life, and someone asked in the Declaration of Principles, it talks about the universe being the natural outpicturing the natural manifestation of God. Spirit could have just been monolithic. It could have just been like, I'm spirit, and that's enough. I'm whole, perfect, and complete. I got dominion, and I'm just spirit. But the creative impulse of spirit was to create each and every one of us, to create this multiplicity within the oneness. That's the truth of who you are, is spirit's delight to recreate itself in all these different forms. So the exercise of being human is to interact with all the different ways God has created itself. That's what we get to do here, is show up with all God in all its different forms. And if we would stop with the judging of whether this person is in God, being God, is godly, is divine, is all of that, then we would see this grand experiment that spirit is on. Is, can you see me when something shows up that you don't like? Can you see me in the mirror when you show up in a way that you don't like? Can you find me? See, this is that exercise, is I've got to be rooted in myself enough to be grounded in myself enough, in my own divinity, before I go about the job of trying to be present to you. So as we do this journey to do healing, the healing starts first with ourselves. There is only one of us, and so whatever it is, it's there for you to heal in yourself first. That's what it's showing up for. Whoever it is in your job, whoever it is, because this is why people come to the Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life class, and it's only 6 weeks. And some of us have some judgment. We took 10 weeks. We took 15 weeks. That's not long enough. Some people come, and by week 2, come on, Misha, come on, Chris, testimony week 2, whole situation changed. There's no time and space in God. It is the time that it takes for you to decide that you are the answer to the problem that you have. It doesn't mean there aren't other factors, other facts that people that need to be held accountable. You might need to change your job or your partner or move or whatever that is. All of that's possible. But the first place all of it's going to start is in your mind, in your consciousness, in your idea of who you are. You get grounded in that, then you can touch and see something else. Then you can touch and change. Then you can discern, is this a safe place for me? Is this my highest and best? Is this the right partner? Is this the way I want to show up with these other people? Is this my church? Whatever the question is, the answer is you. And you can keep going talking to everybody else about it. But the answer is within us. That's where it is. And that's the only place it is. And that place exists in the people you're having the problem with, or the place you have the question with. Because both the testimonies I was referring to, what happened is all of a sudden the other people changed their behavior. And that is the power of prayer. They came with, here's the challenge, here's the opportunity in class I want to work on, and spoke their word, and all of a sudden the other person in the situation showed up and was acting differently, and they were so surprised. I'm not surprised, because prayer is non-local. It's no respecter of persons. It's not limited to time. It's not confined by space. Prayer is about tuning into the vibration of what is already so. This is scientific prayer. This isn't the God up in the sky, could I please be nice enough to earn your blessing? That's not what we're doing here. No shade. If it works, work it. What I'm talking about is understanding that the universe is working for your good. Believing that enough that you can speak your word into it and sit with a positive expectation that everything will change, that everything is already changed. Because that's the thing. It's not even happening in the future. You're just shifting your idea of what's happening. So if you're wanting to have a deeper connection with someone, maybe you're operating under the assumption that they don't want that deep connection with you. And when you shift your vibration and you claim that you're open to that deep connection, well, then they show up and say, we need to have a deeper connection. And you're like, what? When you say, Reverend, he told me to sing this song and your heart is just open, she walks in the door, right? And her heart is open and your heart is open and we're all blessed. And it's just because you said yes when she said sing the song. Do you understand am I making sense? It's the sacred yes and the sacred no, right? So let's get back to that part. So here you are and you're connected and you're feeling into the other person. And sometimes what you get is the way to take care of yourself is to separate. The way to take care of yourself is to set a boundary. In the book, Prentice is talking about a meeting she had with her father, who she was estranged. I'm sorry, oh my goodness. See, we're going to all learn together. Prentice is talking about a meeting with their father. Prentice is talking about a meeting with their father that they had. And when they're meeting with their father, there's a moment where they've been preparing themselves and they've been saying their affirmations and they're saying their affirmations and the conversation is going good. And then there's a moment in the book where Prentice's father starts talking about Prentice's mother. And Prentice is like, Everything in Prentice's body is going, no. I don't want to sit here for this. But some of us have been so trained that we got to take it. We just got to sit there. We got to keep going even though we're uncomfortable, even though our body, we starting to sweat, our palms are itchy, we feel uncomfortable. We're just ignoring the signals that our body is giving us instead of doing what Prentice did, which is to say, I think it's time. I'm uncomfortable with this conversation, and it's time for me to go. This is what dominion is. When you say, I take dominion in your life, it's not that Prentice was like, how could you say that about my mama and da-da-da-da-da. That's not what happened. The power in the boundary is to be comfortable with it. To remember you have dominion is to be able to show up with other people and just say what's so for you. This is the time where I'm going to take my leave. I think I'm good. And you can do that with love. And if we are going to be authentic, and I'm going to talk about that next week, if we're going to be authentic with ourselves, then that is the requirement. If we're going to be authentic with each other, because we could do the fake. Y'all know the church fake. Oh, you know I love you. And you be looking like, oh, didn't you just tell me that you can't stand it? And sometimes it's all right. Sometimes it's all right. No, Reverend E and I have been talking about some of the church hurt and the things that we need to have, we're going to have, let me not just say we're going to have some healing opportunities in the church. There's people coming together for us to do healing circles. We're going to start with the ministers, right? So for us to do healing circles. Because when I tell you the call is coming from the house, there's nothing that can be going on in this church that isn't going on with the leadership of this church. So we're going to take responsibility for that. You know, when some of you, when you come to give me appreciations, and you're talking about the service, or you have something good to say to me, I often will say to you, you can only see it if you are it. When if you see something good in me, it's because it's in you. You wouldn't even know what to call it if you didn't recognize it from your own place and perspective. Well, I have tough news for you. That's also true about the critique. If you see it, it's in you. This you want radical oneness, don't you? This is what it looks. This is the tough side of the radical oneness. Is there is only one of us. So everybody you love and everybody you don't love so much, they're before the grace of God. Go each and every one of us. And so the opportunity for us to practice no is to get real and to get curious about how our past has shaped us. What did we learn in our families? What happened to us in our relationships? What happened at work? Get curious about how your past has affected your edges and your boundaries. And are you willing to lay the scripts down to something else? That's Prentice, page 92. To learn to love you and me simultaneously, we have to be willing to show our soft underbellies. Because this moment that Prentice had with their father was a lot of soft conversation after some time of not speaking to each other. And Prentice had done the forgiveness work to be able to have the conversation, but also had their boundary ready. I'm willing to go in and do the forgiveness work, and here's the place where when my body tells me, I'm going to have to take my leave. We have to be willing to show our soft underbellies to be truly who we are, and in order to do that, we're going to have to know who we are, and to know where our edges are permeable, because sometimes you have a hard boundary, like, we had an audible call this morning, and I was like, no, because I'm trying to practice the sacred no. And then I was like, that didn't feel sacred, though. It felt like the old Lucy Lou with the sword. And so I said, what else is then there? That's the permeable part. That's the generative boundaries part. Is when you're in relationship with someone, we think boundaries are just a bunch of rules that we set down and we said, I'm never going to let anybody ever borrow money from me ever again. And that's just not how human usually works. Because sometimes your heart is touched and there's a moment and you go, this seems like the right thing to do. So that's what it means when it says generative boundaries. Where are our edges permeable and where are they firm? Right? I was in a relationship with someone once who just lived to stretch my boundaries. Anything that I said no to, they were like, the no was the thing. It was like waving a red thing in front of a bull. They just wanted whatever I had said no to, they wanted to convince me to do that. That's not a good relationship. That's not a good relationship. Spirit told me to say that. I didn't want to say that, but I know it must be somebody in here who's going through that. So, okay, you're welcome. It's not. It's not. Having someone, and sometimes people think that's good. You know, I talked before to you all about, as parents, how sometimes we think, we got to toughen our kids up. That's, we're going to violate their boundaries all the time. We don't even believe, most of us were raised in a place where kids didn't have boundaries, right? And then we wonder why we have secrets that have been passed on in our families for generations. Right? Because we taught the kids not to have boundaries. That anybody could touch them when they wanted to. That they needed to do whatever they were told to do. And now we know better, for the most part, and we do some things that are different. But there's an inner child in all of us. There's an inner child in all of us that has been told we can't say no. We can't say, or that we got to have a really good reason why. Ooh, that's the real permission there, is no without explanation. Now you just getting sassy. No, I don't think so. It just looks straight ahead. It's like, I can't even do it. It's so hard. We've been taught we got to explain, we got to justify our no, because no is mean. No is holy. This is the ground of holy relationships. To know where our edges are permeable, to know where they are firm, to find the distance where we can love ourselves and each other simultaneously. To do that, we have an opportunity to just get grounded. Just get grounded. So I'm going to just invite you to close your eyes right now. And let's just practice breathing. I call for breathing a lot, and it can be really uncomfortable for some folks. And I want you to check in with yourself and see if that's you. Because what I have learned is that the ability to stop and take a breath will save your life in the right circumstance. So do that now. Take a deep breath in. And let it go with a sigh. And start to just feel into your body. Feel your feet on the floor. Can you feel your heart? Put your hand on your heart. The world is coming. You're going to be out of here in a half hour or so. And the world and all this busyness is out there. But just for a moment, connect with yourself. The week is busy enough. Right here. Just connect with yourself. And recognize that the presence of God is within me. It's within me. right here, as close as this heartbeat, as close as this hands and feet and breath. That's the presence. It is the truth about who and whose I am and why I am here. I am the absolute delight of spirit to create itself in a different form, to make the perfect individual that is me. This is true for all of us. Whatever it is that you think is a fault, God does not make mistakes. And so here we are with the opportunity to forgive ourselves, to love ourselves, to recognize spirit as the truth of who we are. Take another breath in. Release with a sigh. And throughout the week, when the world tries to push in with its own ideas that feel like doesn't respect your boundaries, it doesn't give you any space to even know whether you have a yes or no, just take a break, take a breath, go for a walk, go to the bathroom, just take a moment, say, hold on 1 second. I'm having technical difficulties on Zoom. I just got to pause for a second. I'm going to go off camera for a minute and take a moment to just connect in with ourselves, to connect in with our divinity, to just go, God, there's so many ways to call on the presence. Play a song. Look at a photo of someone you love. Take a breath. And so I just declare that each and every person who came to this service today came whole, perfect, and complete. And if there is anything in the body of our affairs, in the recesses of our mind that feels like a condemnation of ourselves, that feels like an abandoning of ourselves, that feels like we just don't know how to have a boundary in our life to just have ourselves feel safe and honored and divine and whole, we banish that into the nothingness from which it came. I just declare that there is nothing going on inside me but the presence of God. I just declare that I am whole, perfect, and complete, and it is my birthright to have a holy yes and a holy no. To be able to say, I'm the place where God shows up. And where confusion is showing up right here in the world, in the conversation, at the water cooler, at work, in the personal private chat on Zoom, where chaos is showing up in my family, where chaos is showing up in my relationship, I'm just going to take a step back and set a boundary and say, I'm not going to participate in that conversation. Thank you, Asha, for sharing that with me. I'm not going to participate in that conversation. There's not going to be any mean-spiritedness coming from me. I don't have to get out my sword. I just take a breath and take a break from that. I'm so grateful for this teaching. I'm grateful for the way God has shown up in my life, always and forever. Just allow that gratitude to fill you now. What's one thing you're grateful for? You can say it out loud. What's one thing you're grateful for? What am I grateful for? What are we grateful for? Because what we think on, this gratitude is how we find that strength, that grounding, even in the troubled times in our society today. We remember who and whose we are. And so from this place, I'm grateful for the East Bay Church of Religious Science. I'm grateful for each and every person who showed up here today in person, online, or at some point 100 years in the future where somebody sat down and said, let me look at this live stream. I'm grateful that 50 years of praying and truth telling and being a practitioner who knows the truth. This is the foundation on which we build this movement. I'm grateful for each and every one of us and for the spirit that says yes. Help is available. For the spirit that says, no, you don't have to suffer. Take your dominion. Take your leave. And I do the most important thing I can. I let go. I let go of the ideas that I have that I've got to figure it out. I've got to control it. I've got to get it just right. I've got to discern it and discipline myself so that I can get it right. And I surrender to the one that's been perfecting my life since I was just an idea in the mind of my parents. I surrender to the power that perfects. Not by my checklist. But by my willingness to be made whole. I release this word to the perfect activity of divine law. And if you're willing to just see it differently, whatever it is that came up for you during this service, whoever it is that you need to forgive, even and especially if it's yourself, if you're willing to just give it over to God today, to let it be solved some other kind of way than by the strategies we've been using so far, then I just invite you to anchor this prayer, this truth in your consciousness by saying, Ashe, Amen, and so it is. Thank you. It's offertory time. I am supremely grateful for the generosity of the church. I want to say that last week we talked about a railing for Reverend E. She asked, and thank you, Elihu, it's already done. So we're going to try this one out, and then we'll decide if we're going to take up the carpet and put a whole other one down. And so, Reverend E, we're going to practice. We're going to see. I think these stairs need to be changed a little bit. But this is the type of church we have. So thank you so much, Elihu, and the amazing workers. Thank you to Amandra, Crystal, Dr. Cynthia, Cliff, everybody that was here yesterday. We had a whole meeting. And I have to admit, I did call Reverend Arlene. I'm sorry. But I wanted to make sure we were all on one accord to get it done, and we got it done. And that is what Reverend E is telling us. Everything we need, we already have. So thank you, Elihu, for making that happen. And thank you, East Bay, for your consciousness. Thank you to everyone who has been either changed to recurring giving. It is your gift that makes it possible for us to plan more effectively and efficiently for the future. And thank you to everyone who made a pledge for our campaign. The numbers are growing little by little, and that will allow us to secure the positions in the church that we need to run effectively and efficiently. And let's read our offertory statement. As I give thanks for the good now flowing into my life, I gladly share that good with others. The more I give, the more I receive. And so it is. Ushers are coming with envelopes if you need an envelope, or do we also have our raise your hand if you need an envelope, and raise your credit card or your device if you need the swipe or tap to pay. So we have all of that coming. Thank you to our amazing ushers. Online, hopefully someone is dropping the link, and here are the other ways to give. You can text to 510-650-0535. So you type in that number, and then you text to give there. Or our Zelle is online at ebcrs.org. Reverend Queen Michelle is going to give us our offertory song.
All of the ways I walked in pain, all of the times I felt I couldn't go on, the guilt, the shame, and all of the things that held me down are falling away from me. Are falling away from me. I'm rising up, rise up, it's all falling away, away from me. I'ma sing that again. All of the ways I walked in pain, all of the times I felt I couldn't go on, the guilt, the shame, and all of the things that held me down are falling away from me, are falling away from me. I'm rising up, rise up, it's all falling away, away from me. Falling, falling away from me. Falling, falling, falling away from me. I'm gonna sing the chorus one more time. All of the ways I walked in pain, all of the times I felt I couldn't go on, the guilt, the shame, and all of the things that held me down are falling away from me, are falling away from me. I'm rising up, it's all falling away, away from me. Falling, falling away from me. Falling away from me.
Yes. Thank you so much for your generosity, East Bay. And now we will hear from our Youth and Family Ministry. Can we give a big round of applause for our young people and our teachers? Good morning.
Good morning, East Bay. So our lesson today, we learned about us, that each of us are our own unique expression of God, and talked about what individual talents and skills and special things we bring to the world. So we learned an affirmation. So I'm going to ask you to join us. I'm going to say it, and then you can repeat us. And you guys are going to repeat it too, right? Right, Marcel? And then we'll say hi. So it says, I am unique and special. And I love the way I am. Beautiful. So we have a couple kids that we're going to share today. Can you introduce yourself?
My name is Amira, and I'm going to say a poem about each other. We care about each other. We care about each other, and we should care. it's all about love, and we should never forget it.
You want to say anything? You want to say anything?
I want to say something.
Okay, go ahead. Tell us your name. Into the mic. We know you know how to talk into a mic. Go ahead. You want to share your picture? Say, my name is KJ.
I want to switch hands.
Okay. Say, my name is KJ. Who are you?
I'm KJ.
And you're going to share your picture? You want to share your picture? You share your picture? Okay. This is her picture. Hold it up. So we were drawing our individual selves. So she drew a picture. I also just want to recognize Ali and Amira, because today we just found out is their last day here. They're moving to Las Vegas, so they come regularly, although everybody that comes is important, but I just want to recognize them for coming every Sunday, and they participate on Youth Sundays, so we will miss them greatly. Come on up, Grandma.
Let's send them off with a blessing, yes? Yes. Sister Linda Johnson, we appreciate you so much, and we appreciate these beautiful babies and all of the support that you have given this ministry. And thank you so much, Ali, for you have given us a lot of great poems and singing and a lot of great things, and we're excited for you as you go to Las Vegas. Come on, come over here. Let's talk about this. So we're going to put you all here. Thank you so much for everything that you've done for us. Thank you. Yes, this is the surprise. Yes. East Bay, if you could stand, please, and give this beautiful family our love and our blessing. We see you. We love you. We appreciate you. And we are so excited for your new adventure in Las Vegas. We are praying for you. We are cheering you on. And whenever you decide to come visit, this is always your home. We love you. And so it is.
And I just wanted to thank Ms. Zaya. She helped us with our movement expression today, and Ms. Phyllis, and Ms. Summer, and Dr. Cynthia.
Yes, ever. I see all the folks. Thank you so much. And thank you, Becky, for the way you have come back, roaring back to make our youth and family. Thank you all so very much. All right, we have a few announcements. Try to get you out of here at 12-ish. Oh, yes. Come on, Lola. We have a couple announcements. We'll go ahead and let Lola. Oh, here we go. So I talked with you, and Tiffany McLean, who is part of our Sacred Activism Ministry, has put together a letter for keeping our promise on Measure W. So we know that Black residents, and I think I shared with you all that I'm on the Interfaith Advisory Council for the mayor now, and Madam Mayor Barbara Lee was talking about the disproportionate presence of Black folks in the unhoused population. We make up 9.8% of Alameda County, but over 41% of those experiencing homelessness. And so and Oakland is also disproportionately represented within the county. So we have this $650 million that has been collected under the auspices of being used for the unhoused, and now that the budget shortfalls are there, people are trying to figure out what to do with it. And our letter is to say, please remember to prioritize what it was meant for, which is for the unhoused. So thank you, Tiffany, for putting that letter together. Here is a QR code. Yes. where we can sign on, right? We want to be a spiritual community that shows up for what we sometimes call the least of these, but I like to think of as there but for the grace of God, right? The Latino Ministry service is today at 1 o'clock, so please share that information with anyone you think who might enjoy services in Spanish, in person here and online. This is a new Zoom link. Reverend Arlene will be back on Wednesday for Rev Up Your GPA. Welcome her back on July 23rd. And Reverend Deborah is doing a Pulled by Vision free socio-political play shop on Saturday, July 26th, online from 10 to noon. She will be back in person with another Bible workshop in September. But for now, you can connect with her online on July 26th. Next Sunday, we'll have Kev Choice as our musical inspiration. So excited to have Brother Kev with us. And it is our 5th annual Walk for Love, and Lola is here live in the flesh to talk to us about that.
Good afternoon, East Bay. All right. When I say walk, you say love. Walk. Love. Walk. Love. When I say walk, you say register. Walk. Register. Walk. Register. All right now, let's go. Okay. My name is Lola Pratt. I am co-chair of the Health and Wellness Ministry, and happy 5th anniversary to our walk. Let's give it up for 5 years. 5 years of walking. I did have my notes in my essential earnest. I'm in Pratt class, y'all. Yes. I'm in Pratt class. But as I pull out my sticky, I just want to make sure I don't forget anything. I want to do a call to action. Earlier, you had a call to action. I am asking for a call to action. What am I asking you to do? I'm asking you to donate. I'm asking you to volunteer, and I'm asking you to register. And how can you remember that? DVR. Donate, volunteer, and register. If you see it on your TV, it'll remind you. DVR. All right? That's what Spirit said to me this morning. Donate, volunteer, and register. So we need to donate not just our time, but our funds. You guys heard me get on the mic talking about the fire. Let's get fired up. Let's get fired up. Let's donate so that we can support our activities like this walk, right? Let's volunteer. We need volunteers. We're having a carnival theme, so I got hugging booths, prayer booths, earth play, all kinds of stuff. Kids zone, so volunteers are definitely needed. See me, okay? And of course, register. I've already registered, bought raffle tickets and everything. You can register today, right after you leave here, and enjoying the wonderful salad we have out in the fellowship. It's Salad Palooza Day, okay? But back to the walk. We need you to donate. We need you to volunteer. We need you to register. This is our 5th annual walk, okay? And with love, I ask that you register and come on out. We'll be at Lake Merritt at the bandstand. It's a lot of fun, family fun. Come out. We have AM refreshments, PM refreshments. There is so much going on. I don't even have time to tell you all about it. Only thing I can leave you with is DVR. Donate, volunteer, and register. I love y'all. Have a blessed day.
Lola is one of those super volunteers. We thank you so much for all that you have done to make health and wellness a success. Reverend used to have a tradition where folks would come with her and walk around the lake. Some of us walk on Wednesdays in Emeryville. We, next month, for August, would like to kick off all of the church walking as we make our way to our annual walk. So we're going to be doing neighborhood sign-ups, having walking teams, so start thinking about who you want to walk with. But we'll be walking, and we accommodate all different levels of walking. So there's, some people come down when we pray in Emeryville. They just come meet us at the end at the marina, and they just walk like for 1 minute. And some people walk a long way to get there. So we can make this work for our community. And so we are excited that we Walk for Love. And we walk in support of our food pantry, which given what's going on in our country right now, is going to be more needed than ever. And Faces is giving out food bags today. I want to be clear that the food bags are for everyone. There is healthy, nutritious food. I believe I heard there were chicken and eggs today. So listen, and I used to be like, oh no, I'm not going to take that. That's for people in need. They were like, that is for you, and you, and you, and you. We have both giving. We give out on Sundays, but we also give it on Wednesdays to the community. So we do want you to take a bag with you. We are blessed to be a blessing to others. So food pantry is happening. So please stop in and get a bag of food. Any other announcements that I have forgotten? Piano's going great on Wednesday. And so we had a wonderful turnout. Tuesday, did I say? Oh, yes, thank you. Thank you. Tuesday, not Wednesday. That's important. All right, and so grateful for that and grateful for all of you for your service. I will be in the bookstore for folks who are here for the first time. And if you came here and you thinking, I think there is somebody that I'm ready to forgive, or I've got something that I'm concerned about, and I really do need prayer. Practitioners who are available for prayer, will you come to the front now? There are practitioners who are here, and I'm going to tell you, I'm looking at the folks who are coming up, and you got some dynamite, super friends type prayer going on here, and I'm grateful for that. So they'll be right here. You can just sneak off here and have a moment. This is our laser prayer where you get an opportunity, and there will be people available to pray with you online after service as well. And with that, if we can just go within for one more moment and bless ourselves as we head out into this week, knowing that we are filled up and divinely guided with a sacred yes, with a sacred no, finding the space, being in these generative boundaries where I find the space where I can fully love me and be grounded in me and be present to you. I am responsible for my own joy, for my own happiness, for my own peace of mind. And so I take responsibility. I take dominion in my life, and I put that blessing out because there's only one of us. And so each of us go, as we go forward in this week, facing all the challenges of this life with a new set of eyes, a new way of viewing it. My job is to just take care of being fully present in me. And from that place, I am of the greatest service to others. And so it is.
We're closing with KJ playing Killer Joe, right? So, be blessed.